Nice. Awesome.
Recording. So we got Sunday, August 16th, another Sunday Market Blitz.
We're in a
And
boom.
we're gonna get right into it. So we'll let Nick start off with DXY as always, dollar index.
Hell yeah, guys. So notice we're on the 4-hour chart here. I'm actually going to jump up to the daily, but this is the 4 hours what's important right now, and I'll get to that in a second. So basically, I just want to bring your attention to the transition of a trend we've had. So on the daily time frame, you can see it's clearly been bullish, right? But we did have a transition from a bullish market to a bearish market on all of this price action. Huge bearish movement, a lot of down legs here, a lot of lower highs, lower lows, etc. So we got through this major monthly support, which was kind of the deciding factor for the trend. If it had bounced here, this would have remained bullish, and it was in fact bullish until this zone was broken. So we saw a break, and now we're below that monthly support, now resistance. So we're in a new range now. So we're looking to go lower, potentially all the way to this weekly. We'll see. That is the new range. So let's go to the 4-hour and kind of see what needs to happen for that to kind of fill, right? So let's zoom in on this. So this was that initial break, right? Initial break of the monthly support here. Now we're having a little bit of consolidation, a little bit of ranging, which isn't, not good or bad. We just need to see something happen outside of this range. Like there are, in between this range, there is a transition happening. So it looks like there's more short-term bearish volume here, but we're trying to play it into the 4-hour, into the daily trend, see where it's going more long-term rather than intraday stuff like this. So we have two potential scenarios here for, a bearish continuation. Either we get a pullback to a fib level, because this hasn't formed structure yet, technically. We need to see this 38.2% fib level hit. So that would be nice if it popped up, wicked it or whatever, or closed right below it, and gave us some sort of reversal, a transition, and then a ton of bearish setups. That would be a confirmed continuation after structure formation. So that's always ideal. It's one of our main rules. You always want to see structure form, which means 38.2% fib level or 61.8 minimum. Those are our golden levels. So that's typically what we look for. That's where the highest probability trades come from. So this is what we're basically looking at. We want to see this 38.2 hit, then a continuation down. But that doesn't mean that price action can't keep dropping. We could definitely see it break out of this range just on continued momentum here, because this is a very strong trend. So momentum could easily push it out of this range, get some sort of retest of this zone here, this lower zone of the range, and then some sort of lower high. So there is potential there, for short opportunities on other pairs as you see the dollar continuing lower, especially after it confirms a new lower high below support. But that doesn't mean that you can't take a trade there. So it's just not as high probability as if you were to see structure. So I mean, we'll see how it plays out. We'll keep you guys updated as always. But right now we're looking to get down towards this -27 fib level. So a good amount of room to fall, guys. So that could be another week of bearish momentum coming out of DXY. All right. So let's consider, a long opportunity. What do we need to see for DXY to be considered long, right? Or, bullish, more bullish than bearish. And that would pretty, simply be a break of this monthly again. We need to get above this monthly resistance, turn it back into support, and start getting some confirmed higher lows above this zone. Because remember, as price action was above this monthly, it remained bullish. It only was, deemed a bearish trend once we broke this monthly. So if we get back above it, we'll be then, bullish again for the most part. And then we'll take it from there, reanalyze, new chart setups and all that stuff. So we'll take it as we see it. So right now we're kind of just waiting for this range to play out, and we'll see what happens. So that's DXY, guys. All right, let's move on to AUD USD.
DXY, baby.
Hey, looking good. I like it. I like where this one's actually playing out right now, and I'm going to cover that in a second. So daily time frame, guys. Same thing here. We had a transition in trend. You're going to notice that to be pretty common among all USD pairs, because DXY, changed trend from, bullish to bearish as it broke that monthly. So a lot of USD pairs are kind of going to be the same way, where they're, changing trend on a higher time frame. So that's exactly what's happening here on AUD USD, bearish overall, but we have a change of trend from a bearish trend to a bullish trend after this monthly was broken. Yes, this is a huge 4-hour bullish trend here, but the overall daily trend had only changed after this monthly had broken. Okay, so we can drop to the 4-hour now with this new bullish trend in mind. We need to see how much momentum this has and if this can really continue with this trend. So we broke the monthly. Here it is here. And now we have this kind of ascending, expanding pattern, good volume, but it broke, retested twice, gave us a bit of a double bottom right in our monthly zone at 0.708. Okay, so we're continuing higher. right now we have a bit of consolidation. Price action is kind of squeezing in this triangle pattern. These are still higher lows technically, so this is still very much bullish. So we're looking to make a long play here. Very simply riding the trend, waiting for a transition of some kind, and that's going to take place right at 0.719. Waiting for a break of it, retest, confirmed higher low outside the pattern and above the zone, and then we're entering on long setups. Bullish setups we're entering on. Bullish engulfings, morning star, seller's exhaustion, stuff like that. We're going to take a nice entry on that break and retest and target higher towards prior highs here at the 0% and also towards the negative 27. Let's just do a quick layout of what this would look like. Okay, about 100 pips to the negative 27, thereabout. And then your stop loss would probably be about 20 pips outside the zone, outside the higher low, once it's confirmed. And then, this would be a pretty good trade. This one particularly is 4.7 risk reward, so you can drop it lower. And then minimum 2 to 1s right here. So very, very good, but it doesn't need to be that wide even. So this is a very, very good trade, like 4.7 to 1. Great trade. 20 to get, just over 100 or about 100. It'll be somewhere around there. Depending where the entry is, it'll change slightly. But either way, very, very good risk reward, guys. High probability trade, pretty much a textbook trade there. So this could play out soon. Honestly, in the next 3 to 4 candles on this 4 hour. So 16 hours or so, we'll see. All right, so bullish setups only is what we're looking at right now. What needs to happen for us to consider short plays here? A break of this monthly, a break of this zone again, just like we covered on DXY. A massive transition needs to happen. A lot has to be proven, and then once this monthly zone's broken, confirm lower highs on this pair, then we would consider short plays only. Okay, but until this happens, until this zone is broken, we're bullish, and it's looking pretty good right now. Good momentum, good volume stepping in. I'll give you guys a quick 1 hour preview. Let's take a look, a little bonus time frame action. Yeah, so it's surging right now, nice bullish variation. And these MAs kind of pushed it higher. You can see good volume coming back for a bit of a retest, but we still need to see some 4 hour confirmation because this is showing up as a wick right now. Huge bullish candle to the zone, and then we're getting a bit of a pullback. And then on the 4 hour, it's showing up as a wick. So we need this to kind of close above the zone on the 4 hour, and then we can start dropping time frames. All right, so looking good on AU. Let's keep going. On to AJ, one of my favorites, which you'll notice is very, very similar and highly correlated to AU. So let's start out on the daily time frame as always. Super bearish, right? Significant zone being this monthly zone, waiting for a break of that, and then we can clearly say on this daily time frame that we're bullish. Okay, so we could clearly see here also that this is a giant or very strong 4 hour trend. So this is a good sign. This is a good sign that this monthly zone has a high chance of breaking, and this could turn into a daily bullish trend. So let's go to the 4 hour and get a closer look. Because we are squeezing here. You guys can see this giant pattern, huge ascending triangle, right? You guys can all see this, right? Key resistance right at this monthly, lots of higher lows here. That's a textbook ascending triangle, okay? So, price action's hiking higher. This is a bullish pattern technically. Higher lows. We just need to get through this key resistance, and then we can, we can say that this is a broken pattern, a bullish break. Okay, so we're looking for pretty much a break of 76.7 right here. Break and retest, entering on a higher low above that with strong bullish setups. I'll give you guys the 1 hour preview. Take a look. We're really diving into it tonight. Really, because these are so close to entry, so I really want to give you guys, really what's happening on all these time frames here. So this is the 1 hour. We're pretty much just waiting for a break of 76.7, retest again, higher low, entering on this confirmation, and then we're targeting higher. Okay, so don't mind these fibs too much right now. If we exceed 0, we're gonna have to redraw them anyway. So let's just go ahead and plot what this could potentially look like. So this is gonna be like,
looks really good,
right? 80-90 pips. Yeah, it does look pretty good, just like AU, to be honest. 80-90 pips. Your stop loss is going to be below this higher low, below 76.7, key resistance, right? Which would then be support. You could even drag it all the way below this support here and still be pretty much 2 to 1, or just to it rather. So 45 pips to get 90, roughly 2 to 1, however you want to play it. You could kind of mess around with the stop loss a little bit. You could probably get 3 to 1 out of it, and it would still make a lot of sense. So yeah, another high probability trade, another high risk reward. Yeah, we're waiting for this one to play out. So similar time frame to AU, probably 16 hours or so before we either see a break or a bounce here. But yeah, we'll keep you guys updated. And as always, premium analysis will be posted as this gets closer to execution. Okay. So this is pretty much, yeah, this is the 1 hour chart will get posted to the 30-minute as this, breaks and goes to retest again. So you guys are updated and you don't miss what's happening. All right. So bullish overall, that's our sentiment definitely. But again, what needs to happen for us to consider, selling? And that would be a huge transition and break of this 76 level right here, which is our monthly. And it would actually push us below this zone again and, give us some transitions on this time frame. And we need to see lower highs below these broken levels as well. That would be a confirmed transition, and then we can start considering shorts. All right, but yeah, until that happens, like, see how it's very far away from this level of support. So it's definitely more bullish than anything else, and it needs to prove a lot to change our sentiment. Okay, so that's AJ, looking good, looking good. I like where it's at. All right, so UJ is next. This one is a little further away from an entry, but still potential. I'll show you guys in a second. So let's zoom out to the daily. Super bearish, right? Huge descending triangle, just kind of squeezing price action. It's getting more narrow, and then it actually broke through our monthly here. So this was the start of a transition. It didn't quite have the momentum to continue down, although it was damn close because it pushed, pulled back, started consolidating on a lower time frame, gave us this long wick, and it looked really good for some short opportunities. So let's go to the 4 hour. But clearly that didn't happen. It pulled back through the monthly, came back to hit a deeper fib level. At least it appears to be, which was the 88.6. So we could see a reversal from here. It's definitely possible. There's a lot of confluence in this area, so we really need to be careful and wait for the right confirmations because we have 200 EMA here. We got our lower time frame MAs or our lower period MAs kind of crossing the 200. So. And there's a small lower time frame transition here as well. So we really need to be aware of what's going on the lower time frames and wait for this to play out. Okay, so the most highest probability trade setup that I'm looking for right now is a break of this monthly, retest, and then a lower high below this monthly. I really need to see this transition because I can't take a short from right here, and it's still technically bearish until this 107 zone is broken. So I gotta wait on this one. It's up. It's in an area where there's, a lot of potential for error to take, an entry on the wrong side of the market here. So we really want to wait, want to really be sure that this transition happens, and then we'll just enter over here on this lower high, which would be a better trade overall rather than, waiting or entering on consolidation, which could potentially screw you. So we really want to wait until this volume steps in, pushes price action lower, gets through this monthly, and then this is what the trade would look like. We'd be entering over here somewhere as we get those, bearish setups, and it would be something like this. Stop loss would be about 65 pips. We're targeting down towards our weekly support and negative 27 fib level. Okay, so this is what that trade could look like. Pretty much a 3 to 5 risk reward. Let's call it, where'd it go? 3 to 5 risk reward, about 70 pips to get about 247, something like that, in that area. But either way, it's a 3.5 risk reward, well over our required 2 to 1. So this is, again, another really great setup. And if this does happen, like let's say it pushes down to here, pulls back, gets a lower high, you guys know what pattern this is? Nice little head and shoulders, right? Left shoulder, head. This would be a right shoulder. Neckline would be right here, which is damn close to our entry. It all depends on where this right shoulder forms. But either way, it supports this trade idea, so that's good to see. All right, just need to get below this monthly, retest, lower high, enter on bearish setups. And this one's kind of far away from this setup here, but we'll keep you guys updated through the week. This might happen midweek, or we'll see. But so this is our first trade idea. This is our ideal trade because the overall trend is very bearish. So what needs to happen for us to change sentiment and start looking at favoring long positions, and that is a break of 107.4. So price action needs to get above 107.4, retest, confirm a higher low. And then present a good amount of bullish setups for us to then target, enter on and target higher. All right, so until that happens, we're bearish, guys. It is a pretty deep pullback, but we've seen it before. It could definitely drop and continue lower. So we'll keep you guys updated on UJ. For now, this is what we got. We gotta wait. All right, cool. So next, let's go on to EJ. Daily time frame first. Let's zoom out. All right, so this was overall very, very bearish. This is a gigantic bearish channel. Yeah, pretty absurd. But we did get a change of trend. This one happened earlier than pretty much any of the other pairs because we broke 121.25, this huge weekly zone. Price action surged right through it, came back for a retest, formed structure, hit a fib level, bounced off this 200 EMA and this supporting trend line of that bearish channel. So this thing, huge bullish transition early on and then continued higher. Huge bullish trend, very, very strong. But right now we're at a key monthly zone. So let's go ahead and drop to the 4-hour and kind of see what needs to happen for us to consider long opportunities. All right, so huge bullish trend. So right now it's pretty extended. Actually, this is, hold on one second. I think I put this out as a daily. Just double check. Yeah, it's a daily. So this one's super far away from a trade. Just zoom in a little bit. All right, so this one, it's very overextended, right? We fibbed from the low to the high. We're at a key resistance zone right now, key monthly. So we need to see two things are going to happen here. If it's going to continue with this bullish trend, two things are going to happen. Either we're going to see structure form, so price action is going to pull back through these MAs, hit the 38.2, give us some sort of continuation to the upside, push through the MAs again, nice bullish setups. So either that's going to happen, which would be the best option for us because again, we always want to see structure form. It always helps kind of solidify a trend, especially if it continues with that trend after hitting structure, after forming structure. So this is definitely ideal. This is the best trade setup out of all of these right now. So, highest probability trade. It will have a great risk reward, and we're looking to get an entry in this area. So that's one. That's our best scenario. Second is price action just pushes it through the monthly. So we could see a nice surge through the monthly zone, and then basically we would just look for a retest and enter on a confirmed higher low, or if we're lucky enough to get structure above the monthly, that's obviously ideal as well. But yeah, these are the two long setups. Either momentum just pushes it higher, or we'll get some sort of structure and then a continuation. Okay, so super, super bullish, very overextended. We're not looking at any short setup anytime soon. Pretty much until this, all the way down here, this 121.25 zone is broken. And then we need to get a lower high below that. Because again, even if this pulls back to the 61.8, this is still bullish. Even if it pulls back to the weekly, this is still bullish, So that's why I really want to, be safe and say, I'm not taking shorts until I see 121.25 break. Okay, because it's just so overextended. There's just so much room to fall and still yet be bullish. Okay, so this is going to take a while. Again, this is EJ on a daily time frame, so this is going to take a while to play out. I think at least. All right, but that's EJ. Let's move on to my final pair for you guys, gold, which is a fun one. All right, so this one's easy to analyze on the daily. Bullish, right? Nothing but bullish movement. Very easy to analyze. Right now we're in we broke 1800 and now we hit 2070 an ounce. And then we pulled back quite a bit. So this is more of a 4-hour time frame chart right now. And we're going to continue with, the bullish sentiment. We want to look for long opportunities only. And with that said, we have two potential scenarios here, given where price action is right now. And it's currently looking like it's breaking above this resistance level. It's a little minor level here at 38.2. So if it does form a higher low right here and give us some nice bullish setups, this could be a long opportunity. You could take a long off gold, target the prior high at 2070, and potentially even higher towards 2160, which is where the negative 27 fib level is. So that could be a really nice play. Again, this is just a classic transition entry. Trade setup, and that's what we're looking to enter on. Or more ideally, we get a 61.8 pullback right where our weekly zone is, a lot of confluence there, and then look for a bounce and enter on a transition and bullish setups there, and then target the same high, same prior high, and the negative 27. So both of these are really great setups. We just got to see how it plays out. Either it gets the early jump of the week, just continues, or it kind of consolidates, takes a breather, and then kind of rallies after it hits a deeper fib level and more significant support. So yeah, I'm not even going to cover, a bear setup for this because gold is super, super bullish. So much needs to happen for us to consider, taking shorts on this. So I'm not even going to cover it. But yeah, so two potential long scenarios here. Looking pretty good. Might take some time to play out if it follows this longer trade path and drops to 61, or, it could surge, early in the week. So we'll see. We'll keep you guys updated. Again, DXY is super correlated to DXY is super correlated to gold. So if gold breaks out of this range, if DXY breaks out of this range and starts really running, you'll see something happen with gold as well, and could accelerate one of these movements. Okay. So quick recap for you guys. I covered DXY, AUD USD, which is an interesting one, AJ, UJ, EJ, and gold. All right, so I'm going to pass it off to Angelo. Thank you guys, and he's going to, tear into some majors.
Hell yeah, let's get into it. So yeah, I'm going to share up right now. Let me know when you see my screen.
FTMO. Okay.
Boom. All right, so we're going to start off. We'll do GBP, JPY as a bonus pair. But we're going to head on here. We're going to start off with Euro USD, which is a trade that we are currently maintaining at the moment. So I'll move this over. So let's start all the way up on the weekly. Again, weekly time frame, looking at kind of one or two things, just looking at our key levels and then also looking at price action. One look with the trend. The trend right here is bullish, blue over red. Price action at the top, a lot of exhaustion coming out, buyer's exhaustion. So could we come back and retest this level? Sure. But we need to break on the 4 hour first before thinking of anything when it comes to short opportunities. Again, daily and 4 hour, I'll fluctuate between the two, looking where is structure for us. On this 4 hour time frame, I'm going to go ahead. We were looking at this previous example last week, to break down this example that's going on right now. At this point, let's just focus in on this week and how we opened up. So basically in this 4 hour trend, we're trying to get to this new high here. We're trying to get to this new 4 hour higher high. We're seeing a lot of bullish momentum. We formed another higher low, blue over red right here. So really just to update this analysis, what needs to break to go to the downside would be this level of support. And to the upside, we're just looking to maintain this lower time frame trend at the moment. I'm going to hit the 1 hour a little bit clearer. So the 1 hour, pretty much all we need to look at is we had this low, we had this lower high, we had this low, and then we broke pretty much above a couple different things. We broke above the 200-day moving average here, broke above resistance, this lower high, the structure point, and then we just made our higher low right here. And yeah, we're looking to continue this trend to the upside. We're looking to take advantage of potential buy opportunities, but at the moment we're just looking to maintain the signal that we're in. If this does start to pull back and form another higher low, then we can look for re-entry. So this is just the current position of Euro USD, waiting to see pretty much what it does now. Not touching it the next few hours or so, letting it do its thing. And then let's go over to USAF, much of the same. We are going to bump up to the weekly time frame. Pretty much correlated, but to the opposite end is on the weekly time frame. We're pushed all the way to the bottom now, but we are actually at a monthly key level of support right here, which we've got to be mindful of. But again, going down to these time frames, daily and 4 hour, trying to see, which time frame do we see structure the clearest on the daily. It's just at a low. We're still below these moving averages. There's no real structure. I want to break these candles down a little bit more. And then down to the 4 hours when we can start to see structure. We had this low, this lower high, this next lower high right here. So really to update this analysis, what would need to happen is this level would need to break on the 4 hour time frame. So we would need to come all the way up here and break this level. I'm just going to drag this across. Boom. Right here, so we would need to break above here. At the moment, we just formed a lower high. We're still in this lower time frame trend all the way down. We'll hit the 1 hour. On the 1 hour time frame, just broke support. That turned resistance, made a lower high. So unless we break this level, we're comfortably in this 1 hour trade, and that is what we are going to continue to maintain. I've got a few positions open. I won't enter another position unless it comes back and forms another lower high. Keep it pretty self-explanatory. So those are the two pairs that I'm in currently or maintaining trades. Then let's go to UCAD. Let's bump up to the weekly. Weekly time frame with UCAD, this thing's been falling off for quite a while since we rejected this monthly level. Now we're at a month or a weekly key level. But it's the same thing. Like, we can't take any longs until we get some major structure to break. But we do have things looking sitting well. The technicals are lining up pretty well. So pretty much we're just looking to maintain this 4-hour downtrend at this point. Made a lower low, made a lower high, made a lower low, made a lower high. Last week, got in on some good short opportunities here. This week, we're looking to do pretty much of the same. I'm looking for price to, it's pulling back now. We got to find some resistance, much similar to this. We've got confluence and trend lines, weekly key level, fibs if we bring them on. So I'm looking to get short on this once it turns over, or if it does. So we're going to stick up on the 4-hour time frame with this. For now, I probably won't be checking this again until tomorrow night, when things start to play out a little bit more on this time frame. Now let's go over to GU and NU. These two pairs are lining up for entries on the weekly time frame all the way up to the monthly time frame. Monthly time frame overall is just still bearish, but obviously last month closed very bullish. Down to the weekly, I'm really just looking at this and I'm telling myself, yeah, we're overextended, but we did break above the 200-day. Had these two like spinning tops form the last 2 weeks, showing signs of indecision. But until we get some sort of breaks to the downside, I'm still going to comfortably be pretty bullish on this right now. And on this 4-hour time frame, made this high, made this higher low, starting to consolidate within this triangle. So I'm looking for this to shoot up to this monthly key level where it might find some more sellers at that point. Let's go down to the 1-hour time frame. This is where I'm getting my idea to go long, because I had this break structure right here, made this high, made this higher low. Now we made another high. I'm looking to pull back and catch this next higher low. That would happen if we pulled through the moving averages right here, found something very similar to this. We need to pull back a little bit more than that, actually. We're going to pull back from here. Boom. So we need something like this, pull back, find support, then go long, like in this area, target the higher time frame on the 4-hour. So we've got a little bit longer to wait on GU. I'm not trying to take anything too aggressive on this. Daily time frame showing some exhaustion. So we'll see. If this thing pushes up even a little higher, then pulls back and forms a higher low, that's when we will get in on that. So this is something that I will definitely be dropping in the premium analysis. That's for you guys that are in signals, that are our members, or if you just want to get in on that alone, it's just $7 one-time fee. So that I'm going to share in the premium analysis. Then we've got NU, which is been lining up really well, but it's been going, NZD has been very weak, even in comparison to the dollar. All the way up on the weekly, we've been watching this for a while. I just haven't been really trading it that much because of that inverse correlation. But on the weekly, we had a couple confirmations. We had this supply zone, we had this trend line, and then we started to get this like inverted hammer candle, these bearish candles at the top. And then down to the 4-hour, this is an example of actually breaking some structure. So on the 4-hour, we broke right here, and then we pulled back. And all the way up to here, retest this trend line. I made this lower high. And then first entry opportunities really were like right in this area, then following with that. If we go down to the 1-hour, we can take a look at that. Down to the 1-hour, we had that 4-hour formation of a lower high. That was a 1-hour break of structure. And then like if we fib this, boom, from this high to this low, that was a 38.2 retest. Very easy entry on this one right here. Could have put stops right above this level. Would have been about like a 40 pip stop. This one would have been into profit around like 60 pips. Could have decided to close, or another entry coming in on this next retracement right here. If we wanted to use fibs, I probably wouldn't even, but you can measure it, hit the 618, and then we're getting entries, right there, right here, and then again, right here is another good entry. Then we can do the same thing, use, this level as our stop loss. I just haven't been trading this too much because this is going with USD strength. And, as Nick went over with DXY, USD is still pretty weak, or the dollar index is still in a downtrend, overall. So this is interesting. This just shows how weak NZD is right now, as a currency pair. So we'll see. We'll see if this thing continues to play out. I'll see if I'll start trading it. I'm not sure. We got the daily time frame. We could fall really all the way down to back to this monthly level at this point. So we'll keep you guys updated. I'll post GU and NZD USD in this premium analysis tab. That's where it's just meant for us to update like our lower time frame before we're getting ready to put out the signal, get the trade out to you guys. Bada bing. So let's go over, last but not least, 2GJ. It's going to correlate pretty closely with GU and EU all the way up on the monthly time frame. I'm obviously seeing this still be very bearish, but over the last month, this thing has been pushing to be bullish. Coming down to the weekly, obviously a lot of weekly bullish candles in a row. I'm really looking for this thing to push all the way up until this trend line, the 200-day, that area, on the 4-hour. We're obviously very bullish. Well, first on the daily, very bullish in the sense that made this higher low, pushing to a new high right now down to the 4-hour, been making highs and higher lows, high, higher low, now we're at a high. So what do we need here? We need something similar to this, pull back through the moving averages, and then, look at the lower time frames in this area when this all starts to happen. Entries are pretty much right here. And then you just ride that higher time frame trend all the way up until those targets are met. Stops could have been pretty close in this area. Would have had a nice at least 2-to-1 risk reward trade there. So we're gonna look for the same thing, looking for the pullback now, get in on the higher low, and ride this thing into the distance. So those, what do you say?
So that setup was phenomenal.
Hell yeah. Can we discuss XA? Yeah, we went over gold. Nick went over gold. Overall, it's just bullish.
Yeah, waiting for a structure or transition to happen at current price action. Did you mean discuss like you had another question, or just overall do an analysis on gold? Because we did that. We covered that already, Charlie.
Yep. We already covered gold, so the replay will definitely be posted after this. I just went over Euro USD, USD CHF, USD CAD, GU, NU, and GJ. Nick went over DXY and a bunch of other pairs, I believe.
AUD USD, AJ, yep. EJ, USD, JPY, and gold.
Yep. So all the analysis, obviously beginning of the week, guys, all the analysis is out there. We've got some bonus analysis out there for you guys too. So what I would suggest, if you're applying your analysis and you want something to compare it to, come into here, check out the analysis, check out the reasoning. If you can't listen to these sessions, there is text in every one of these analyses that you can read yourself, and help yourself prepare for the week. We do these to prepare for the week, regardless of whether we were doing it with you guys or not. It's important for us to spend this half hour each to just go over the charts, go over what we're looking for the week. We'll do this again, on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and big trading days throughout the week. But Sunday, just be patient, guys. We're going to be patient. There's obviously some orders that we're already in and some orders that are coming up. But, it depends. I'm trying to, chill for the rest of the night, so we might not even be putting out any more trades, Just got to feel it out, see how Sunday shakes out. I know some people are a little bit more aggressive. today, but we don't tend to be too aggressive on Sunday. But yeah, glad to get this analysis out to you guys, and this will be posted on YouTube after.
Yep. All right, guys. So enjoy the rest of your weekend. And, next time or next live session is, Tuesday and Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, every morning from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Hell yeah. So we'll see you guys on Tuesday.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Peace.